experience, IX. Kamal is a successful social media. ठीक है बेटा, तो always remember कि do not try to argue with your exam sorry invigilator. ठीक है, if he or she doesn't allow you to use the highlighter, you can use the pencil as well. Okay, influencer experience. Kamal is a successful social media influencer. In 2020, Kamal launched his own social media platform called Influencer Experience, right? Operating in the quaternary sector of the economy. Okay, now what is quaternary sector? Quaternary sector, remember, quaternary sector is a part of the tertiary sector, right? It's basically a part of the tertiary sector. Kamal targeted other social media influencer with IX promotion. IX allows influencers to manage and publish videos on its platform. Okay? The unique selling point, that USP of IX is that it provides the influencer with better and more detailed information than any other platform. IX is a free to use service for social media influencer. Again, that is a very important point to be underlined. IX charges other businesses to advertise on the platform. The price of advertising space is set each month using dynamic pricing based on how many users click on an advertisement. Price per click. Table 1.1 shows some data about the advertising on IX platform. Influencer A 0.2 is the rate price per click. Number of followers 0.7 million. Price per click in January was 0.2. In February it was 0.4. Number of followers. Ji beta, you are asking something? Acha, do one thing. Hold your questions. Once we'll done with one case, then we'll discuss the questions. Okay? Okay. February 26, number of followers has been increased and price per click has also been increased. For influencer B, price per click has been decreased in February and number of followers has also been decreased. For influencer C, price per click is same and number of followers is same. So it says that price per click and number of followers is actually in the direct relationship. Okay. Then IX operates as IS operations are labor intensive, and Kamal describes his management style as less is fire. IX has 30 employees who are all managed by Kamal. See table 1.2. Table 1.2, IX employees. Marketing department has 5 number of people. Payment method is profit sharing. Advertising sales department has 10 number of people. Payment method is commission. Technical department has 8 number of people. Payment method is time rate. Maintenance department, including the cleaners and the catering, has 7 employees, and again their payment method is time based. Okay. Now, first question, which is for 1 mark. Identify one limitation to a business of labor intensive operations. Okay. Now it's very easy. Whenever they talk about labor intensive operations, so it is human based. So first thing is you can write either that it takes a lot of time, okay, or you can write that it's difficult to hire the risk, it's difficult to replace the employees since it's labor intensive. So you have, if you have trained an employee और फिर वो छोड़ के चला गया तो obviously it's difficult to get the replacement. ठीक है. Okay, first I am explaining you all the questions. After that, I'll show you the answers as well. I have written the answers already. So first, let's discuss all the questions. and then I'll show you the answers and we'll discuss the answers then. Second question, like A question, part 2. Explain the term quaternary sector. I have already explained you quaternary sector. Quaternary sector is a part of the tertiary sector where high tech intellectuals and high knowledge is concerned. जैसे कि हमारे पास some surgeons or maybe high tech technological जो लोग होते हैं या high tech engineers होते हैं, they are the part of the quaternary sector. Okay. Then very important part in paper 2, that is calculation. Refer to table 1.1. Calculate how much it would have cost a business to advertise with influencer A in January 2026 if 10% of the influencer's A's followers clicked on the advertisement. Now this is very good. Good. A January 2026. So answer lies here. Number of followers is 0.7 million. That is 700,000. वो आपसे सिंपल ये कह रहे हैं कि भाई calculate how much it would have cost a business to advertise with influencer A. ठीक है, if 10% have clicked, so we will take out 10% of 0.7 million, that would be 70,000. ठीक है, and then you will multiply it with 0.20. 70,000 with multiplied by 0.20 will be the answer. ठीक है, I'll show you the all the answers as well. फिर आते हैं B2 पर. Explain one way IX adds value to its services. This sounds to be very simple question, but you know, adding value is very difficult in real life as well. And if we talk about regarding your answers, so it's very difficult. It's very often कि आप लोग गलत answers देते हो, right? It's very often. It's very often. Okay. So how can you add the value? You can add value like IX can add value to its services by providing more detailed information about the clicks. It can provide analytics to the influencers that how many people are following, right, compared to its competitors. This allows influencers to better understand their audience and they can improve their content accordingly, right, which makes the platform more useful and attractive. Okay. Now C part. In C part, they are asking about the advantage of dynamic pricing, right? Analyze one advantage and one disadvantage to IX of using dynamic pricing. Acha beta, one very important misconception of the people, you know, in 8 marker, you are not supposed to explain the thing. You are not required to explain dynamic pricing first. Yet, agar aap karte ho, there is no problem in doing that. Lekin, do not think it is necessary. ठीक है? It is not necessary. It is not required. Now, what is the advantage? पहले dynamic pricing को समझ लेते हैं. Dynamic pricing is when pricing is changed. When prices are not fixed, prices are dynamic. They are changing rapidly. Like we can see here that as per the number of followers is changing, so the pricing is also changing. So one advantage is to maximize the revenue, while disadvantage is that it creates uncertainty for the customers. It creates uncertainty for the advertisers. You have told them, कि भाई advertisers को you have told them that this will be the rate that per click we will charge $0.20, but they do not know the actual number of clicks. So what about the advertising budget of the advertisers? It will be disturbed. ठीक है? Let's discuss part D, then I'll show you the answers. Laissez-faire leadership or laissez-faire management style. Previously, we used to call it laissez-faire leadership, but now we call it management style. So you have to evaluate that whether this management or leadership style is appropriate for IX or not. Now, for this, you should know that what is laissez-faire. Laissez-faire is a management style where manager gives full authority to the subordinate. He tells them the guidelines, he tells them the company rules, and then let him do his work. Okay. So what are the benefits? Laissez-faire management or leadership. In this sort of management style, the employees have a very high level of independence, right? And why it is appropriate for IX? Because it's working in the tech industry and creative industry. Here you need more people. Here you need more, technical things. So innovation would be there. So yes, authority is required. And yes, there are very small number of employees. 30 employees is not too much. So less is fire is manageable as well. Now, but in less fire management style, there is a problem, which is lack of coordination and control. Since every person is doing his work from his own style, so it's very difficult to make them on one page, to bring them on one page. This is the problem. Okay. Now let's see the answers for case one. Okay. See, you can see the answers on your screen. One limitation of labor-intensive operations is they can lead to higher labor cost as the business depends heavily on employees rather than machinery, increasing wages and related expenses. Since you are depending on the employees, so obviously you have to pay them more. Simple. This is for 1 mark. Second part is for 3 mark, quaternary sector. The quaternary sector of the economy refers to businesses involved in knowledge-based services such as information technology, research, and data analysis. These businesses focus on creating and sharing information rather than producing physical goods, which is relevant to IX as it provides detailed data to the influencers. Okay? Now P1, I already explained you 10% of 7 million, that is 0.07 million, which is 70,000 clicks. Cost per click was 0.20. So technically you have to multiply 70,000 with 0.20 and you are going to get the answer, that is 1,40,000. Oh, sorry, 14,000. It's 0.20, right? Not 20. So you get the answer 14,000. Okay. Then B2, how to add the value. IX adds value to its services by providing more detailed information and analytics to influencers compared to the competitors. This allows influencers to better understand their audience and improve their content, making the platform more useful and attractive. Okay? Now C part, where they were asking you the advantage and disadvantage of dynamic pricing. One advantage of dynamic pricing for IX is that it allows the business to maximize revenue. For example, when demand for advertising space is high, more clicks, IX can increase the price per click, increasing its final income. However, the disadvantage is that it may create uncertainty for the advertisers. Businesses may find it difficult to predict their advertising cost each month, which could discourage them from using the platform if price becomes too high or unstable. Then D part, laissez-faire leadership. Laissez-faire leadership means, here you need to explain it first. Laissez-faire leadership means employees are given a high level of independence with little direct supervision. This could be appropriate for IX because it operates in a creative and technical industry where skilled employees such as those in the technical department may perform better when given freedom to innovate. Additionally, IX has only 30 employees, so Kamal may be able to rely on trust and informal communication, making a relaxed management style effective. However, there are also drawbacks since Kamal manages all 30 employees himself. A laissez-faire approach could lead to lack of coordination and control, especially across the different departments like marketing and sales. This might result in efficiencies or inconsistent performance. Furthermore, newer or less experienced employees may require more guidance, and without sufficient direction, productivity could fall. Then the final conclusion, the closing of the answer. Overall, while laissez-faire may work well for experience and the creative staff, it is not necessarily the most appropriate style for the entire organization, and the more balanced or situational leadership approach may be better. Okay, this was your first case. मुझे बताओ if there is any confusion. I'm showing you the case again. Is there any confusion, any question? This is the case. These are the questions. Demeter, is there anything which was difficult in this case? And let me tell you, this is very easy. So मैं डरा नहीं रहा हूँ, but it happens when it's very easy in February, March. It comes a bit difficult in May, June. ठीक है? To be prepared. Now let's see question number 2 or the case number 2. ठीक है? Case number 2, it seems a bit difficult. जी बेटा, we are doing case 2 as well. Na? Wet. I believe I am pronouncing it right. ठीक है? Vet is a managing partner of YV, a veterinary practice in CTP. There are 4 partners of YV, each of whom is fully qualified and experienced veterinary surgeon. Each partner specializes in the care of different types of animals. Vet specialize in the care of small animals, including dogs, cats, and rodents. Okay, table 2.1 shows a cash flow forecast that Vet has created for the next 3 months. A complete cash flow forecast you can see on the screen. Okay, it's a complete cash flow forecast they have given you. अच्छा मजे की बात, there is nothing missing, so it means that the calculation is not from the cash flow. There might be something else. Okay, Vet is proposing a merger between YV and AV, which is YV's main competitor in CTP. Figure 2.1 shows sales revenue data for the vet services market in CTP. Achha, now merger between YV and AV, which is YV's main competitor. So which type of growth or which type of integration it is? When you are merging with your main competitor, so which type of integration is it? Horizontal, yes. Acha, they have given you the pie chart, sales revenue in $1,000, JH, YV, AV, and SD. So technically, AV and YV are the market leaders having the most sales. Okay, and highest market share as well. Okay, identify one feature of partnership. That's very easy question. You know, one feature of partnership can be multiple owners. It can be, I think multiple owners is a very simple feature of it. Then explain the term inventory. Inventory is the stock that is kept by the business for reselling purposes. Say it. I have written the answers. मैं आपको फिर दिखाता हूँ. Now the calculation they are asking for the calculate the combined market share of YV and AV vets in CTP. So the formula for market share is sales of a business divided by the total market sales. So add YV and AV's total, that is 230 plus 210, that would be 440, divided by the overall is 360 and 440 is around 800. So 440 divided by 800 multiplied by 100. Okay, this will be your market share, the combined market share of AV and YV. उसके बाद they are asking explain one factor influencing the supply of vet services in CTP. 55%. ठीक है. Explain one factor influencing the supply of vet services into one factor influencing the supply. Now this is interesting. One factor influencing supply. ठीक है. So one factor influencing the supply can be availability of qualified surgeons, cost of production. बेटा वेट्स का इलाज कर रहे हैं, they are treating animals, not producing anything. How would you write cost of production here? They are treating dogs, they are treating cats. So how would you add cost of production here? For a vet clinic, the major factor, the major thing is availability of qualified surgeons. Okay? For a, like it's an hospital, na? Vet is an hospital basically, animals hospital. So doctors for animals is the major factor of providing services, which is supply, right? So do not write cost of production everywhere. Okay, then analyze 2 methods what could use to improve cash flow. We can see that there is a negative balances. So what can be the methods to improve the cash flow? Okay, they can reduce outflows by delaying the inventory purchases, prior payments as well, increases flows or more, or even if not asking for the prior payments, they can ask for the cash payments by offering cash discounts. By offering discounts, they can ask for the immediate payments, right? So these are the two ways that either you decrease the outflows or either you increase the inflows. Then D part, evaluate the most likely impact of the proposed merger on one stakeholder of YB. Many of the stakeholders would be affected by the merger, but the major effect would be maybe on customers. So we can write that one stakeholder affected by merger is customer, because now the conflict regarding working culture. Yes, yes, this is correct. This is correct. If you are writing about employees, so this is completely correct. If you are writing about customers, so obviously it is reducing the competition, so might be price goes down, better services, or it may lead to high prices as well, because now customers bargaining power will be reduced. Now, priorly there were four competitors. They might need to fire some employees. Yes, this can also be a negative impact on the employees if you are taking employees as a stakeholder here. Okay, sure. Let me show you answer. I have taken customers as a stakeholder. Okay. Ji. One feature of partnership is that profits are shared between the partners. Okay, simple, very simple. Inventory refers to the stock of goods held by a business for use or the sale. In case of YV, this could include medicines, medical supplies, or equipments used in treating animals. B1, someone already shared 55% is the market share. Yes, it was correct. B2, one factor influencing the supply of vet services is the availability of qualified veterinary surgeons. If there are more trained vets in City P, the supply of services will increase, whereas a shortage of skilled professional will limit the supply. C part, one method White could use to improve cash flow is to reduce outflows. For example, by delaying inventory purchases or negotiating better payment terms with suppliers, this would help reduce immediate cash expenses, improving short-term cash position. Another method is to increase inflows, such as encouraging more cash sales instead of credit sales. This could be done by offering discounts for immediate payment, which would help bring cash into the business more quick. Both methods would help address the negative cash balances shown in March and April. D part. One stakeholders affected by the merger is customers. A merger between YB and AB would create a business with a large market share, that is 55%, which could reduce competition in CDP. On one hand, customers may benefit from better services as the merged firm could combine the resources, expertise, and equipment, leading to improved quality of care. But on the other hand, reduced competition may lead to higher prices for vet services as customers have fewer alternatives. This could negatively impact the affordability. Overall, the impact on customers depends on how the merged business behaves. If it focuses on efficiency and quality, customers may benefit. But if it exploits its market power, the customers could be worse off. Right? So very simple case, very simple calculations were there. So I'm praying कि आपके पास ऐसी ही calculations और ऐसे ही questions आ जाए पेपर में, तो I am sure कि all of you will go with the good results and good paper, right? ठीक है, चलो. If there any question, तो please do let me know. This was very simple case. Very simple case. I was just solving and I was thinking कि it's very simple case. So let's pray as February, March, we get such simple case and simple paper in. मैं recording share कर देता हूँ. ASP1 बेटा, ASP1 I have already shared solved. ASP1 on the group. See, P1 from February March 26. I've already shared. Yeah, I'll share these answers as well along with the recording. And chalo, by tonight I will tell you some expected topics as well. हाँ मैं भी शेयर कर देता हूँ P1 भी शेयर कर देता हूँ दोबारा से चलो श्योर आई एम शेयरिंग बेटा आई एम शेयरिंग चले जी ओके दैट्स ऑल फॉर टुडे अल्लाह हाफिज